Coron, at first glance, is enveloped by calm crystal waters. However, beneath the surface lies one of the biggest sunken armadas in the Pacific. In September 24, 1944, a Japanese convoy hid amidst the limestone islands. They were ambushed by 96 Hellcats and 24 Helldivers that were launched from the carriers Essex, Lexington, and Intrepid. These planes traveled more than 500 kilometers to strike the fleet. It only took 20 minutes of intense bombing which finally cut the Japanese Empire's lifeline. Why was that fleet here at all? Just 3 days earlier, American planes struck Manila Bay. The Japanese vessels that survived the encounter were ordered to scatter. Coron Bay, remote and reef-guarded, seemed an ideal spot where the Empire's naval power could regroup, unload cargo, and await fresh orders. So how did the Americans find them? A lone Hellcat on a recon mission photographed unfamiliar silhouettes in Coron's coves at dawn on the 23rd. Vice Admiral Halsey gave the strike orders, which was at record-breaking range. The next morning, the strike group flew in low, skimming wave tops and caught the fleet at anchor. Bombs erupted with surgical precision. Akitsushima bathed in aviation gasoline and burned down. The fuel tanker Okikawa Maru burned for weeks before it finally laid to rest beneath the surface. The cargo ships Kogyo Maru, Morazan Maru spilled concrete mixers, rice sacks, and bulldozers into the sea. The real Olympia Maru, which was long misnamed the Tangat Wreck, settled upright beside Tangat Island. Japanese rescue craft scrambled, but amidst the smoke and chaos, hundreds of sailors were lost. However successful the attack, the Americans still paid the price for such an extreme attack. Several American planes were not able to return due to depleted fuel reserves given the strike range. Aircrafts were ditched, and not every pilot was able to return home. Salvage teams arrived in the 1950s, winching engines and propellers from the wrecks. Local fishermen told stories of unexploded ordnance and silverware stamped with imperial crests. Sport divers followed in the late 1960s. And by the 1990s, Coron was on every wreck diver's bucket list. Researchers working from ship manifests and wartime diaries gradually corrected decades of misidentification, revealing, for instance, that the East Tangat gunboat was really Terukaze Maru, and that the celebrated Olympia was in fact Morazan. Steel, once forged for conquest, is now reef-wrapped memory. Coral cloaks decks and gun barrels alike, while each tide writes life over continents.